When I was younger, I was skinny fat and out of shape, and I absolutely despised myself for it. All I wanted was to have six-pack abs and a bit more of a defined physique instead of this flabby, skinny fat look. And I tried multiple times to get into working out. I would maybe stay consistent for a few weeks, but I would always end up quitting. I don't even have a count in my head over the amount of times that I tried getting into working out, tried starting to get into better shape, tried improving my physique, and ended up quitting. It would be this pattern of me getting motivation, starting to work out, and then after a few weeks, maybe a month at the maximum, quitting for some reason every single time. Now, I've been working out and doing calisthenics mainly for a bit more than 3.5 years consistently. And it's a stable part of my life that I never slack on. So in this video, I'll tell you what I did wrong when I was trying to get into working out but kept on quitting, so you can hopefully change your mindset and start getting consistent with working out. Most people know exactly what they should be doing to get to where they want to be, but they keep trying to find alternative methods, shortcuts, and coping in order to not put in the hard work. I used to be exactly the same way. I would constantly look up videos on the fastest way to get six-pack abs or how to learn to pull up fast, trying to find shortcuts all the time. I would spend all my time trying to look for these magic shortcuts that could get me the results as fast as possible instead of actually doing what I deep down knew that I was supposed to do to get the results that I wanted. Most people are the same. Most people know that the 6-minute ab workouts or the bullshit workout app or the programs they keep buying will not get them the results that they're after. You won't get the results fast, and most people know it, and I'm sure you know it too. If you stop coping and if you stop lying to yourself, you know what you need to be doing to get to where you want to be. You just need to stop making excuses and lying to yourself and start doing what you know you need to do consistently to get the results that you're after. I'm not saying that this is easy, but it's simple. When I was trying to start working out, but I kept quitting, I kept making excuses, and I kept trying to find shortcuts, deep down, I knew what I needed to do. But I also knew that it was going to take time and that it was going to be difficult and hard. And I just wasn't ready to accept that, so I kept finding excuses. It's not easy, but it is simple. But you need to shift your mindset from trying to get shit as fast as possible to actually enjoying the process and being happy that it's hard to achieve. The fact that it's hard to obtain is what even makes it worth having in the first place. If everyone walked around with a six-pack and it wasn't hard at all to get a six-pack, no one would respect it or even think about it. But the fact that it takes consistent hard work in the gym and for you to stay clean on your diet for a long period of time is why people respect you if you have a six-pack. When I was in this beginning phase of wanting to start working out but constantly quitting, I would hop on a new program every once in a while and I would stay on it for a few weeks or a month and then I would quit. And the reason for this was that my ego was way too big. I always went all in right away when I started these bullshit programs. And so I ended up quitting because it was too hard for my current level. You probably have this weird mindset that when you start working out, you probably have this weird mindset, the same as I had, that when you start working out eventually, then you try to compensate for all the time you haven't worked out and all the time you've lost by going all in, working out 5 or 6 times a week, going for runs, doing a ton of cardio, trying to change your diet to eat 100% clean right away. And so what ends up happening is after a few weeks, because it's so hard and it's such a big change to your whole lifestyle all at once, you end up quitting. You simply cannot expect that you who are at level 1 in the skill of fitness, calisthenics, or training, or diet can start out by going to level 100 and going all out instantly. If you go at it with this approach, you will inevitably end up quitting. This approach simply does not work for 99% of people. Maybe there's a few David Goggins in the world that can just push through and have insane demons that they're fucking fighting, so they just push through and change their whole lifestyle all at once. But for 99% of people, and for myself, this approach did not work and will never work. So what you should do instead is start small. Start with something that, in fact, you think is too easy for yourself. Because in the beginning, it's not about what you do. It's just about getting into a new habit. Start with something that takes 10 to 15 minutes a few times a week, and just stay consistent with that for a few months before you even consider adding anything else. Don't think about your sleep, don't think about your diet, or don't think about anything else in the beginning. Just think about one thing at a time. So you start with working out a few times a week for a very short amount of time, and you just build up the consistency with something easy. When you're in the habit, then you can start scaling up the difficulty of your workouts, adding more things, looking at your diet, slowly adding in more things to your regime. But if you try to go from 0 to 100 overnight, you're just gonna end up quitting. The last thing I have to say kind of ties into this as well. You have to take action consistently. Watching a YouTube video is not doing the thing. Buying a program is not doing the thing. Buying new workout clothes is not doing a thing. Making a new program for yourself is not doing the thing. You can do all of these other things to trick your mind into thinking that you're being productive and working towards your fitness goals, while in reality, you're not moving the needle. You're not making any progress towards your goals. Again, start out small with something easy, but do it consistently. Go hit the gym and hit a short workout a few times a week. Train some calisthenics at home a few times a week for just 10 to 15 minutes. Just choose basic, simple exercises. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but you need to be consistent and you need to build up the habit. Taking very small but consistent action leads to very big results in the long term. And you'll be surprised at the results you can get from such small actions. You need to drop the excuses and stop coping. Start doing what you deep down know that you should be doing to get to your goals. Drop your ego and start small, build the habit, and then gradually increase over time and add more things. This is the correct way to start working out, to make sure that you're gonna stay consistent with this new habit in your life over time and not just end up quitting after a few weeks like everyone else. I really do hope that you take this shit seriously and you start implementing it, because if someone had come along and told me this earlier, I would have started being consistent with my training much earlier. This is what worked for me and has gotten me to stay consistent with working out in calisthenics for 3.5 years. And I really hope that this advice helps you too. If you found the video helpful, consider dropping a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel.